All right, guys, let's move on. Before we do, a reminder that August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before Week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is a one-day only event. FanDuel, play your game, America's #1 sportsbook. All right, guys, let's talk a little baseball for a sec. We'll finish the show with some more football, but the Guardians got rocked by the Marlins last night. It got to the point where Austin Hedges pitched, and he was the only Guardians pitcher yesterday to not give up a run. But I don't really want to focus on the game itself. I wanted to focus on a bigger picture topic. And, of course, I should start doing this more often, because every time I put in the rundown, player X is slumping, they have a big night and or hit a home run that night. So last night I sent out in the rundown, guys, Stephen Kwan has been in a major slump since the start of July 1st. Now,
Homer.
He had one hit. It was a home run. But since July 1st, he's played in 34 games. Stephen Kwan, a contact hitter, one of the Guardians' most productive bats in the lineup, is hitting just .231 with a .632 OPS. Both significantly, or not both, the average is right around league average. The OPS is significantly below even league average. Jason, I know it's an up-and-down season, a long season. Players go through slumps all the time, but 34 games is not a tiny sample size, and the Guardians are winning despite the fact that they're not getting much, if anything, in terms of offensive production from Stephen Kwan.
The alarming part, if you want to zero in on Kwan, to me, is the same thing happened last year at the same point. Remember last year we were having the conversation, Tyvis and Jay were betting about if he could hit 400 or not, and he didn't even hit 300, let alone 400. He slumped so badly. I looked it up earlier. I can't find the exact numbers, but from end of June, I think, through July and August, it was like a 60-game stretch in the middle of the season last year. He hit like 220. And now you're telling me since July 1st it's 231. Well, it's basically the same as last year. When I saw your graphic, I tried to pull it up real quick. From July 1st last year through the end of August-ish, I think he was right around the same.
I'll pull up the numbers. I'll do the
yeah,
same
go
thing.
to like the game log on reference.
Yep, give me 1 sec. I got you.
I think he was right around the same 230-ish from July 1st on. So
he running out of gas.
So there's a trend here. Like for it to be the exact same point in the season, now obviously he wasn't near 400 this year, but he's having a very good year. And then if he hits the same wall at the same point in the season 2 years in a row, I think you can start to look at that and say, okay, why is this happening? And
real quick to your point, Jason.
Yeah.
On July 1st, he was hitting .362.
And that was down, by the way. So the slump actually started prior to last year because he was around 398.
On June 16th, he was at 398.
Okay, there you go.
So June 16th, which was the 69th game of the season. So over the final 100 games of the season, his batting average dropped 106 points.
Yeah. So I think there's it happens once. You say, okay, whatever. We know he's not going to sustain a 400 average all year long. It's regression to the mean. But for it to happen 2 years in a row at the exact same point in the season, yeah, I think there's something to that. And I think you need to sit down and look at, does he need more time off? Like, they rest everybody else in the lineup. Maybe you need to sit Kwan a little bit more often. I don't know. It's just for it to happen 2 years in a row like that, yeah, I think that there is reason to be concerned.
I hate that you went first. I was going to say, they're winning in games right now. It's everybody, 162 games, you expect somebody to get a slump. But now you bring up it's been 2 years at the exact same spot. Sounds like to me, first of all, 162 games, that's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games.
He should definitely get some rest time over the course of that. I don't know. Maybe that's some off-season training, maybe? Like, maybe he needs
He's not a big guy.
I know, but, like, you got to think, like, how can I withstand it? A lot of the times it's through working out, like lifting, and to make sure that you still have those energy towards the latter of the, like, people don't train for the first quarter, they train for the fourth and overtime. Like, that's when it matters the most. And it seems to me like that might be something that he needs to look into, which it's weird because you would think that after last year's season, he would talk to his people and be like, we fell off at this moment. What can I do to not do that again? And the fact that it's happening again makes it seem like that conversation maybe didn't happen, or maybe that's just who he is. I don't know. All I know is he's supposed to be getting paid here in about 2 years. He better fix it if he really want to really hit the bank. But if you're gonna give me a homer once every 6 games, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, slumps happen. Guys go through 20-game stretches where they're not seeing the ball well. They're not getting the flare to drop that maybe they do when they're going well. So, 15, 20, 25-game stretch, you're not going to get too worked up about. You're at 34 now. It's just the fact that it happened last year, and from what I pulled up, it was a 60-game stretch. So when you got a 60-game stretch of last year where he's hitting 220 after he hit 400, and now here we are at 34 games since July 1st with still a couple weeks to go in August. Let's see how the rest of August plays out. If it stays in that 230 or dips even lower to that 220, 230 range where it was last year, that to me, that's a trend.
He ain't lifting during the season.
I don't know how much he lifts at all. He's just not.
Wait. Well, I mean, that's a problem.
I'm sure they all do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they all do.
He need to lift during the season.
I don't think he's
just a light lift.
I don't think he's taking creatine and trying to bulk up.
Well, he should.
Yeah. Well, how do you get out of a slump if you're Kwan? Whenever you're struggling with something, I think sometimes you go back to basics, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you try to become a little bit more patient, and that's kind of what he was known for. I mean, the guy always got on base. So, do you think that there's something? Is he pressing now? That's what happens, I think, to me and some other people in other sports when we're trying to do too much, and we really can't get it going. I mean, I think about my serve in tennis. When I can't get it in, then I start, then I'm double faulting, So it's like with a baseball player, and he's not making the contact, he's not getting the hits. It's like he's trying everything except try easier.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Something's got to be missing here. There's a disconnect.
Nobody knows. You guys know this better than anybody. Nobody knows better than the player when it's not going well. They know before.
Right.
They know before anyone.
Yes,
something's off. And I'll go back. Mike's actually one that pointed out to me Donovan wasn't finishing well around the rim last year, and Mike and I sort of pulled up the numbers to support it. And then after the season, after one of the playoff games, when he did play really well around the rim, I told him, you had one of your worst years ever around the rim. And he didn't know the exact numbers, but he's like, oh yeah, I know. I know. I don't know. I don't have the data, but I just know from playing this isn't the way that it normally looks. So players, these guys know when it's not going well. And to your point, maybe he is pressing a little bit. I'm not saying it's time for a full-on panic. I'm just saying it's time at the end of the season now. You got 2 years of proof. I think he does need to sit down with the strength and conditioning staff or the nutrition staff or whoever and find out, hey, what do you think? What are you guys seeing here? Why is it that at the exact same point in the season, it maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's just a fluke, but for it to happen 2 years in a row, I think it's worth exploring.
Yeah, it's not something that he should just, I'll be all right, like that type of thing. Like when you talking about money involved later, you got to figure that out.
To Mike's original point, I think schedule also matters. You look at who they're playing. That series they had with the Mets was a great series.
Yeah, it was.
And it's sort of sent the Mets in a little bit of a tailspin. But they're playing a bunch of teams with losing records right now, and they're taking advantage of it. It's hard for me to look at this team and think that they can make a legitimate World Series push just because of what the lineup is and the fact that, it's sort of like with the Browns. The Browns told you what they thought when they traded down from 2 to 5. They acquired an extra first-round pick, and they passed on Shador 5 times or whatever. They sort of told you they felt like there's not a franchise quarterback in this draft. Well, the Guardians sort of told you what they felt about their postseason chances when they traded Shane Bieber. If they felt like this is a team that was going to make a deep postseason run and they had it all set up and all they needed was that ace at the top of the rotation, they probably would have kept Shane. But when they move on from him before he throws one pitch for them,
is he pitching yet?
He will start next week for Toronto. He has one more rehab start this week, and then he'll make his debut for Toronto next week.
He's going to be lights out, isn't he?
He's pitched well in the minors on his rehab assignment so far.
He's going to be lights out, isn't he?
We'll see. His velo is still not – his velo's where it should be. It's not where it was at his prime when I think he was kind of in the spider tack stuff with the sticky stuff. But he'll never.
Don't do that.
No, I'm serious.
Don't do that.
He was 97, 98 when spider tack was allowed, and as soon as they outlawed that, he had a
They
significant
said
velocity
Karen
drop.
was like that.
Karen Check's
Bunch
another
of guys.
one.
Bunch of guys. I was looking at the wild card standings, by the way, and this just run differential is not the end all be all.
It's significant though.
But I do think over the course of a season, it gives you a pretty good idea of
Yeah.
how good or how bad a team actually is. When you look at the wild card standings, the Mariners are currently the number 1 wild card team. They have a plus 37 run differential. The
They
Red
are
Sox,
a completely different team since the trade deadline.
yes, and they've been red hot,
Yep.
8-2 in the last 10. I know they lost last night. The Red Sox are the 2nd wild card team right now. They have a plus 93 run differential. The Yankees are holding on to that final wild card spot,
For now.
plus 90 run differential. The Guardians are 1 game back, a negative 27 run differential. And then the Rangers, who are 2.5 behind the Guardians, have a plus 57 run differential. One of those does not belong. And it doesn't mean the Guardians don't belong in the conversation, but based off that one metric, which does gauge how much you beat teams by, how much you lose teams, they're winning games despite the fact that none of it really makes sense, Jason.
And that's a credit to Stephen Vogt and his staff. It's a credit for the players for grinding out wins. Ultimately, what matters that day is who has more runs. And you take the win and you run. But if you're trying to forecast and you're trying to measure, hey, what are the odds in October when you're going against some of these other teams? Yeah, I think run differential is one of those stats that can really sort of tell the full story. And it's not – that's – I don't look at this team. There are teams, the team 2 years ago, I thought, yeah, okay, that team, they can make a run. They could do it. They could win the World Series. I don't look at this team that same way. I don't look at this rotation. I don't look at this lineup and say that's a lineup that can win a World Series.
What about the postseason?
No.
You don't think they can make the postseason?
Oh, make the postseason? Yeah, they could. I mean, the Yankees.
Wild card.
The Yankees are an absolute. They might catch the freaking Tigers.
You think so?
Yeah.
6.5 back?
They got 6 to go with them at the end of the season. If they get this to 2 or 3 going into September, it's game on. And
Okay.
I wouldn't like sit here and put money on it or predict that it's going to happen. I'm just telling you.
But because of those 6 games, they're within the wheelhouse
Yeah.
to get back in it.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
makes
you,
sense.
even 4. If you're at 4 going into September.
Although there will be pressure on them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the Tigers have been
Are those
in first
games
place.
here or are they up there?
3-3.
They're split.
It's
Okay.
3 and 3
Okay.
split, yeah.
So if they get that to 3 or 4, somewhere in that window going into September, you got a pennant race. And the Yankees are just a total mess. I can't believe
they're a
Aaron Boone-
disaster right now.
I can't believe Boone hadn't been fired yet.
I think the same thing.
We can't. They still in the wild. They lose out of the wild.
So-
Oh, if they lose, he's gone.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can't fire him right
Probably
now.
should have got rid of him last year.
So of all the teams like that Mike just mentioned, the Mariners are significantly better than Cleveland. It's not close.
Boston.
Boston is, I wouldn't say significantly better, but I would pick Boston in a series over Cleveland. Texas has been up and down. DeGrom's been getting blown up lately.
You got that wild card standing?
You just had it. Yeah, you want
Let
to
me
pop
see
it up
Let
again?
me see it again.
And remind you, this is just from that's the AL Central, Steve, the wild card, please. This is just from the last wild card spot. So technically the Guardians are 1 game back of the 3rd wild card
Right.
spot.
Okay.
And the division leaders are Houston, right? Houston, Detroit,
And Toronto.
and Toronto. I would have a hard time picking Cleveland to win almost any of those in a series, in a playoff series.
Not Houston,
No, I would take Houston over Cleveland.
even though
Doesn't mean they can't.
Doesn't mean they
split game.
can't.
I understand.
I mean, again, they told you what they thought of their postseason chances when they traded Shane. If
That's
they were
fair.
in it, if they felt like they had a legitimate chance to win a World Series this year, do you think they're trading the best pitcher on their staff for
Well-
a prospect?
Well, when we get to our last topic of the day,
Ty, move your hands. You're covering your mic.
when we get to
Thank
the
you.
last topic of the day, that's we'll address.
I don't remember the last time.
Oh, I do. I can't wait.
A holiday could be coming to Cleveland.
Oh, Lord in heaven.